Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you guys are having a good one. So it seems like Indiana is going to be building a migrant detention facility. This is a little wild because I do live here. I know what gave it away, Hoosier maybe, but I've lived here for a very long time. I was born here. I moved out of the state for a little bit, but I came back. It's just like the song, back home and again in Indiana. I long for my Indiana home, right? And I really like living here. A lot of my family's here. I have a lot of good memories here and stuff, but when I saw the news here, I thought it was a little wild because, well, we have the stories already with the alligator Alcatraz out in Florida. And, you know, news like this, you wouldn't really think of Indiana as a place to host something like this, right? So it kind of felt like I was living in a simulation a little bit when I saw this article for the first time, and don't let the name fool you. There is a town called Speedway, Indiana. This facility is not going to be built in Speedway, Indiana. It will be built in Bunker Hill, which we will kind of talk about. Not really talk about the town because I don't know too much about it, but just kind of show you in relation of how far it is from Indianapolis and stuff like that is. But people associate Indiana with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right? When you think of Indiana, when you're out, when you don't live there, you think of either, corn or race cars, and it's usually race cars. But I will say there is more than corn in Indiana. If you know, you know. But yeah, most people will associate Indiana with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway or IndyCar. We have the Brickyard 500 or 400 rather, the Indy 500, and that's what we're known for is the race car stuff. And so this is why they gave it the name the Speedway Slammer. But I just wanted to kind of say that because there is a town called Speedway, Indiana, right? It is not going to be in Speedway, Indiana. But let's go ahead and read this article. It says DHS Secretary Kristi Noem unveils plans for new migrant detention space in Indiana, the Speedway Slammer. It's such a wild name, right? We live in a simulation here, it feels like. It's wild. This was written by Victor Nava. The Trump administration is collaborating with Indiana to expand capacity at a state correctional facility in order to hold illegal migrants. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced Tuesday, dubbing the new wing of the prison the Speedway Slammer. Today, this is a quote from her. Today, we are announcing a new partnership with the state of Indiana to expand detention bed space by 1,000 beds. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it's not its own facility, right? It's just a lot of beds being added, but it seems like from the wording here, it's going to be added to another prison already, just its own sect of lockup, I guess. But she wrote this on X. It continues, thanks to Indiana Governor Mike Braun for his partnership to help remove the worst of the worst out of our country. If you are in America illegally, you could find yourself in Indiana's Speedway Slammer. This is Kristi Noem here, if you do not know who she is. The name is a nod to Indiana's auto racing culture, particularly the famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is located about 75 miles south of the new detention space at the Miami Correctional Facility. Now, again, what I said earlier, most people associate Indiana with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right? Brickyard 400, the Indy 500, Indy car racing, stuff like that. And that's why I'm sure it got its name. But the Miami Correctional Facility, I believe, is in a town called Bunker Hill. And Bunker Hill is this area up here, okay? Very, very small town here. And you can see kind of how far it is from Indianapolis, right? So the Speedway is this is Speedway, Indiana here, but basically the IndyCar stuff is like, well, there's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway right there. That's where the Motor Speedway is. So you can see how kind of far it is from Indianapolis itself. It seems like it's gonna, when you get further up north, like if I drive from Indianapolis to South Bend, there's like a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of nothing, and it sucks. But yeah, that's Bunker Hill right there. That's where the facility will be. Um, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to show in relation to where it would be. Um, it continues. Braun, a former Republican U.S. Senator, announced on August 1st that Indiana would fully partner with federal immigration authorities to assist President Trump to carry out mass deportations. And we know that obviously Alligator Alcatraz was built for that reason. He was sending these illegal immigrants to um, Argentina, was it, in their max security prison and stuff. Um, but it seems like they're building these prisons here to also house these individuals. It continues as a part of the partnership. The Indiana Departments of Corrections would work with Immigration and Custom Enforcement (ICE) to make available up to 1,000 beds at Miami Correctional Facility near Bunker Hill, um, in the Garrison Joint Air Reserve Base, to house migrants slated for. Okay, so it seems like they're going to stay there before they get deported. Um, Camp Attenbury, operated by the Indiana National Guard, will also be made available for temporary use by DHS to house illegal migrants subject to deportation, according to the governor. We are proud, this is a quote, we are proud to work with President Trump and Secretary Noem as they remove the worst of the worst with this innovative partnership, Braun said in a statement. Indiana is taking a comprehensive and collaborative approach to combating illegal immigration and will continue to lead the way among states, he added. This is Mike Braun here. I think he is the governor of Indiana now, but he was the senator. DHS noted, and I could be wrong about that, but DHS noted the agreement was fully funded by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act Trump signed into law on July 4th, which authorized spending for 80,000 new beds for ICE to utilize when detaining and deporting migrants. Indiana's Speedway Slammer follows the opening of the Florida's Alligator Alcatraz earlier this summer to assist the Trump administration in deportation efforts. So this is the Miami Correctional Facility that they are speaking of. And like I said, they are going to be adding 1,000 beds to this facility here. Let's see. Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis opened a swampland facility located deep in the Everglades on the side. Okay, we know that. The property outfitted with the tent structures on the house of the illegal immigrants, 2,000 detainees, but will eventually hold 4,000. Okay, so that's the end of this article here, pretty much. Indiana is getting a Speedway Slammer. But one thing that they did do, which I thought was a little funny, so Trump likes to make a lot of AI generated images to post on his website or the White House website, which is wild. Again, it feels like we live in a simulation and stuff. It's really crazy. But they kind of caught some flack for doing so by incorporating the Indy cars here with the ICE on there and driving around a prison, right? And Penske was not happy about this. Their quote, where it was, "We were unaware of plans to incorporate our imagery as part of the announcement. Consistent with our approach to public policy and political issues, we are communicating our preference that RIP not be utilized moving forward in relation to this matter." Now, I think that this is just a joke. Obviously, it's a joke, but I don't think that they should be too upset about it. It is what it is. I mean, I understand people will be upset about it because obviously this is a very divisive issue for people. But again, it's not that deep. But I think they took the post down, and they said a DHS spokesperson on August 6th told IndyStar that Trump administration did not see the problem with imagery. An AI generated image of a car with ICE on the side of it does not violate anyone's intellectual property rights, DHS said in the statement. Any suggestion to the contrary is absurd. Now, and I don't know anything about IP rights or anything like that. So they could have some intellectual property rights to the design of the cars and stuff like that. But being used as satire, obviously, but I don't know what the law is about it. I just wanted to kind of point this out to show you that this is the wildness, this is the craziness we're seeing in Indiana right now, right? But these posts were taken down. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the Speedway Slammer stuff. There hasn't really been any other kind of news about it other than the drivers talking about um, the picture that was posted and some of them being caught off guard by it, right? And again, because people associate Indiana with IndyCar and car racing and stuff like that. Now, even though I'm from Indiana, I hate race car driving. I hate it. I cannot stand it. Um, but it's like that one video. It's like um, we're gonna watch him go left, and he's gonna make another left, and he's gonna make another left. Woo! That's kind of how I look at it. I'm only there when I see wrecks, but other than that, I really do not like IndyCar or race cars or anything like. I'm just not a car guy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of touch on what was going on. I'm sure most of you already know now because it's been a while since this has been up. But I have nothing else to really say about this. It is a little wild to see this happen in your state, especially in a state like Indiana. Um, but you would think that these prisons would be kind of put like close to the border, not in the middle of the country. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the news on the Speedway Slammer so far. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Does it seem like sometimes we live in a simulation? I think so too. But I'm going to go ahead and go. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves.